Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about this beauty, the 30-30 repeater, which is the latest weapon to be added in Apex Legends in Season 8. So we're going to cover the stats real quick, and then we're going to talk a little bit about this weapon in detail. So it is an assault rifle type weapon. It shoots heavy rounds, as you can see. It fires obviously in single shots. It's got a rate of fire of 138.6 rounds per minute, which can change if you charge it up. But we're going to cover that a little bit later. It does 74 damage to the head when it's not charged up, 42 to the body, and then 32 to the legs. It's got a magazine size of 6, 8 with a white magazine, 10 with a blue magazine, and 12 with a purple or legendary magazine. Obviously, the legendary magazine is the latest addition to the attachments in Apex Legends, and it automatically reloads your gun when it is holstered. Now, this gun is it has a lot of recoil, obviously, because it is a single fire weapon, so it has a lot of upwards kick, but that is pretty manageable. As you can see, it comes back down pretty fast after you fire your first round. Now, one of the biggest things about this weapon is it has a charge up feature. So as you can see, when you shoot like this real quick, it doesn't have a time to charge up, and the firing rate is actually pretty decent. But when you ADS a little longer, but you can see where the bullet count is the little charge up meter. It actually charges up pretty fast, but as soon as you un-ADS, it goes back to normal. And this, I think, is where this weapon shines. It does a massive amount of damage when you give it the time to charge up. As you can see right here, you'll be doing 100 damage to the head with a charged up shot, 57 to the body, and then 43 to the legs. And this weapon, I've been having so much fun with it as of late. It is a fantastic addition, and I think it really competes with weapons such as the Scout. It gives you a good medium to long range potential without having, sniper rifles, which in my opinion, don't really shoot fast enough to be worthwhile. I mean, this thing does almost as much damage as the longbow when you're charged up, and it has the potential to shoot really fast if you are in closer quarter combat, when you don't let the charge up time let the charge go up. You just pop off shots like that, and it's actually really accurate. And I don't know, I really love it. I've been running it extensively from releasing of Season 8, and I gotta say, it is a force to be reckoned with. It's even really good at hip fire in close quarter combat. It's just an all-around great addition. Honestly, lever action rifles, they're always so freaking cool to use, and you get that feeling when you're using this weapon. You can equip any of the assault rifle attachments on this thing, so obviously a purple stock, and I like to use a 2x on it, and then you can just rain hell, and you can see the charge meter, instead of being next to your bullets, goes directly on the 2x HCOG. You can just rain destruction down with this thing. I was using it with maybe an R99 or a Volt, or even an alternator, which got a small buff in the past season, or a R301. This weapon really excels at that medium to long range combat. But yeah, this weapon definitely competes with some of these stronger weapons in the game, such as maybe the Wingman, which is a very strong single fire weapon. And you can actually really do good with this at pretty much any range, honestly. Even in close quarter combat, as I said earlier, the hip fire is pretty decent. It can shoot really fast, and like the one downside is probably the reload speed, because it's one round at a time. But that allows you to cut the reload short. Let's say you're shooting and you are getting out of combat, you can just pop a couple of rounds in there, and if you get into combat again, you can just click the left mouse button, so your fire button, and then it would just stop reloading, much like the Mastiff would stop reloading. And it's just, man, it does a lot of damage. It has the potential for long range combat. The accuracy is really good. I think it's all around a great addition to the weapon roster in Apex Legends. And you pair this with a fully automatic weapon as your sidearm, and you are golden. You are doing a ton of damage at range, much like sniper rifles would, without the penalty of having to wait so much in between shots. Now, the one downside is it doesn't have as high of a headshot multiplier as sniper rifles or other weapons. So other weapons, I think it's 2.1 or 2 times damage. This one does 1.75, but I mean, when you're doing 100 damage per headshot, it only takes a couple of shots to kill your enemies, when they have purple armor. So it's not really a downside in my opinion. And it also has pretty slow bullet travel time, considering that that it is a heavy weapon, and a lot of people say that the base magazine size is pretty low, but I mean, you can't put it too high because then it would just go into the overpowered range, much like the Wingman was on release when it had 6 shots in its base magazine. Now it's down to 5, so you got to be careful as to how you tweak this gun, because it could be very close to being an OP weapon. I've seen people run this like pretty much every fight. I see a 30-30 repeater. It's satisfying to use. It does a lot of damage. It's great at most ranges, and I don't know, that I love it. I absolutely love it. I think I'm gonna use it as much as I possibly can. It will replace the R301 for longer range engagements, that's for sure, even though the R301 and Flatline both got the Anvil receiver back this season, which does turn them into long range or medium range firing machines that do a lot of damage per shot, but you still don't get that awesome feeling of shooting a lever action rifle. And by the way, seeing as it is a weapon that originated from Salvo, Fuse does get a special animation when he picks up the gun for the first time, so you see he spins it around. As for other characters, they would just simply rechamber the round in order to make it combat ready. But anyways, I would definitely suggest picking up this weapon if you see it. Get used to it, pair a submachine gun with it, and you will be pleasantly surprised at how good it can perform and how fast you can take down enemies and do follow-up shots. And that is one of its big strengths, the follow-up shots at range. And the charge time is so low that you can, even if somebody's out in the open, you can do follow-up charged shots really quickly and just decimate your opponents with it. But that'll do it for this video on the 33 repeater. I won't sing its praises any longer. You should go and try it for yourself. Let me know what you think about the weapon in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.